Hello everyone! Today I want to teach you how to make this incredible non-baked dessert. And let me tell you something. We brought it to lots of parties. We had friends who were doing Hawaiian-inspired housewarming party. Another friend was doing tropical themed birthday. And all our friends just enjoy it so much. But the best testimony is from our friend Kyle. While he was enjoying this amazing dessert, he was saying, "You know what? If you just tell me that it has a poison in it, I will keep eating because it's just so good, you cannot resist it." And this recipe makes 2 dozen, so there is plenty to share with your friends and family. This is really good summer recipe, summer dessert because it's kept in the fridge, so it's cold. But you can definitely make it all year round, it doesn't matter. So let's start with the recipe, and as you see there's a ton of ingredients. So I recommend that you go to my website www.czechcookbook.com, and there will be a link in the description on YouTube under the video which takes you straight to the recipe. So let's start with the ingredients. Here I have honey graham crackers. It's a 14-ounce box, but you will need only half of the box, which is about 7-8 ounces. Half a cup of sweetened coconut, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened baking cocoa. Here I have 1 stick of unsalted butter, half a cup of milk. Then we will need gelatin. This is 4 envelopes in this box. It's unflavored gelatin, and we will need 2 packets. Here I have cream cheese. We will need 2 boxes, which is 8 ounces each. If you have the Czech style farmer's cheese, unsalted one, you can use it instead of the cream cheese, which will be more original, but cream cheese works amazing. Then we have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 lemon, and we will need the skin from whole lemon, but also we will need 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, which is just from a small lemon. So we might need little more. We might have a little more, but that's fine. Here I have a can of pineapple chunks. This is 20 ounces, so you need this large one. And you are looking for chunks because that's the best to use. We will need a little bit also for decoration, but I will show you when we get there. Then to decorate and make a topping, we will make whipped cream. So we will need 1 cup of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. The US style powdered sugar has cornstarch, which helps the whipped cream to stay in one form. It's not runny. So you might need to add more cornstarch if you live outside of US and you don't have as much starch in your powdered sugar. Then we will drizzle it with chocolate, and who doesn't love that, right? So we will need 3 ounces of dark chocolate and 1 teaspoon of shortening. I will be using coconut oil. And also we will be using 2, I have here, muffin pans. That's how we will create this shape. So let's start with the recipe. I recommend to take out of the fridge this cream cheese a few hours before you wanna, or 1 hour before you wanna work on the recipe. This way it will soften up, which is then easier to work with. Here I have food processor, and inside I put 7 ounces of graham crackers. If you don't have a food processor, you can put the graham crackers inside of the Ziploc, close it, and crush it with a rolling pin. This way it will be same way, but I'll be using food processor, which will also make it really smooth and break in small pieces pretty fast. This looks good. It's all broken up, as you see. So let's add it to a bowl. Also scrape off anything that's left over here. We will need to melt 1 stick of unsalted butter, and the best is to have Czech Republic mug, right? So I will melt it in microwave. It usually takes me about 40 seconds, but it really depends on your microwave, and make sure it doesn't just shoot out of the mug and you have mess everywhere. So let's melt this. The butter is melted, but let's wait before we add it. Let's first add half a cup of sweetened coconut. Also add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. So now it's 2. Mix it together. Just a little bit, that's fine. And now we will add melted 1 stick of butter. And this will be our bottom crust. Press it so it can combine all of it, the dry ingredients with the butter. This looks good. And let's set it aside and prepare our trays. You will need a plastic wrap, so make sure to get some. And now you want to make it longer than a tray, because we will be putting it in those holes. And let's just try to put it in all the way down, because this is what will create our shape. And now do it with both of them. And as you see, I used just half, and then now I will use another half for here. Now we'll be putting the crumbly base into all of them. So I usually use a spoon, and you will need a few teaspoons like that, and just press. I have a small spoon so it can nicely press, and just try to compress it down. And if you have any left over, then you can add more. So I will be now doing all 24. I'm done now, but I wanted to tell you that you can also do it differently. You can scoop up, let's say, 2 teaspoons of the mix and just divide it evenly to all 24. This way, you know if you need to add somewhere more or less, and then you can start compressing it. This way, you don't have to compress it more than once. So this is done, and now we need to put it into the fridge so it can harden, and we will be working while it's resting in the fridge on our filling. Now we will need to let the gelatin to absorb the milk. So this is half a cup of milk, and let's put it here, and add 2 packets of unflavored gelatin. And mix it. Now set it aside and let the gelatin absorb all the milk, and you will see how thick it will get. Into a mixing bowl, add 2 boxes of cream cheese, and it's so much better because it's softened. It's easier for mixing, this way you don't have big chunks of cream cheese. You can also cut it into smaller pieces if you didn't have a chance to let it sit out. Let's add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Carefully scrape it out, because this is sharp, so just the edges are sharp, so be careful. Add the zest from 1 lemon. This will give it incredible lemony pineapple flavor. Very tropical. Not only the skin, but also the lemon juice adds very nice flavor. So this is good. This is whole lemon. I just squeezed the lemon into a cup, and now we will need 2 tablespoons. And here in California we have a really juicy lemons. So as you see, I still have leftover, but that's okay. I can add it to a water and have some nice drink. And this now we will need to mix. I put the whisk attachment, and we will need to start on low because there is a lots of juices, so it doesn't splash. And then we will need to fluff it up. Let's add speed. I did put it to the highest speed, this way it can get nice and fluffy and there are no chunks here. Let's get this out. You can definitely lick this now before you put it in a sink because what a waste. And let's add more ingredients into this one. Now we will be working with the pineapple chunks, but we will need to first strain those juices. Make sure it's really strained so you don't have a mess on the board. You can also put it through a strainer. For the decoration, we will need to set aside 24 pieces because we have 24 cheesecakes. So I like to cut it in half so I don't use as many. And don't forget to count. So I will now stop and I will put here 24 little pieces. For the topping, you can set it aside. Here is 24 pieces. And this is what's left in the can. And let's cut this into smaller pieces so it's not as large inside of the filling. Be careful because these edges are sharp, so don't do it like me grabbing it with the hand. You can just put it on a board and chop it from here, because I wouldn't actually grab it too low because this is sharp and I know better. Let's add the chopped pineapple. I have a little bit of juices here, but that's okay. If it's not too much, that's okay, but don't put too much juices because that will be too runny. Our filling. Look what happened to the gelatin and milk. It all just got very thick, but we will need to melt the gelatin. So let's add the whole thing into a pot. See how thick it got? Very important thing is that you don't want to boil this. So make sure that you are warming it up on a low flame, low heat, and just until it melts, which doesn't take long. You don't want to boil it, otherwise you kill it. And as you see, it already starts to get more runny. And this is perfect. That's all we need. And I will actually get a whisk because I noticed there are a little bit of like here, little pieces, so I will whisk it. This way we will break any clumps. As you see, this did not take long to thin out, so this is perfect, and I will be adding it to our mix. So now I will add our gelatin mix. And this is what makes the cream cheese filling just incredible. Now mix it all together. The gelatin will start to harden up pretty fast, so I recommend to start putting our filling on as soon as possible. So I go get my trays. Make sure this is well mixed, and it's good. See how runny it is, and soon it won't be. So we will work hard. I have here some ladle And I will try not to be messy. Just pour it in, and this will also make the surface smooth, because later on when it's harder it would not be as smooth. So just pour it on. You can go all the way to the top. Just try to scoop up some pineapple. I have actually two trays that are a little different. This is lower and this is higher. So some of them will be lower than others, but that's okay. It will all get eaten up. So I will now fill the rest and talk to you soon. I used the spatula to get all of it out, so it is nicely even, perfect for 24, all of them. And now we will need to let it harden in the fridge. I recommend at least half an hour. The better is 1 hour, but I will see after half an hour how it looks, if it hardened enough that we can actually get it out and decorate it. Soon I will bring the trays back in, but before that I want to make a whipped cream. So here is the mixer again with the whisk, 1 cup of whipping cream. Let's add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Let's mix it all to create whipped cream. Make sure you don't overdo it, otherwise you will have butter out of it. So this is looking pretty good. So I think we are done. Yeah, see, this is not runny at all. This is perfect texture. Yeah, it's thick enough. Now we will warm up our chocolate and prepare it, and then I can get the trays. For the chocolate drizzle, I have here a larger pot and a smaller pot. This one I filled up with water, but not all the way, because you don't want the water overflow when you add this one on the top, because the smaller one has to float. As you see, it floats. Inside I put 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. You can use any shortening, and 3 ounces of dark chocolate. And I will turn on the stove, and now we will keep it on high, and this will slowly melt the chocolate. It's better to use thinner chocolate because it melts faster, but that's okay, this one will work too. As soon as water will start to warm up, this will start to melt. I like to press it a little bit, so I kinda help it. I move it around, pressing it. The chocolate is melted now, as you see, so and it shouldn't be boiling, the water. It should melt before it has a chance to boil, because we don't want to burn the chocolate. So let's turn it off and keep it in the water so it can stay runny. Let's fill our piping bag. I like to use a glass, it's easier to fill it, and I bend it like this, fold it over. With spatula I make more space, and now we can easily fill it. And this way we will be ready. It was sitting for about 45 minutes, and I got the lower tray, and let's now just pop them out just like that. They come out really nicely. See, it's perfect. And this is just firm. The gelatin hardens up really nice. I want to show you the bottom. As you can see, it hardens up, so this nicely holds its shape. So let's decorate with the whipped cream. Just shake it. Whoops, that came out, but it's okay. And I'll just make like this, and then we will add the pineapple there. Let's add pineapple in. You can add it before or after the chocolate. It really doesn't matter. Right now I will do it this way. And now we will drizzle it with chocolate. And I don't have any good tools how to do this, so I will just do it with a spoon. Just like that. This is it. Isn't it looking beautiful? Yeah, and they're so tasty. If you have them left over, I recommend that you cover it with the plastic wrap carefully. Even if you have some that are hard, but they are not decorated yet, also cover it with the plastic wrap because it will dry up. And now let's try some. So this is it. Here I am now trying it, but the chocolate did not harden yet, so I might be all messy, but that's okay. You can also use a fork or a spoon, but I will just go and bite into this. Oh, so good. Mmm. Oh my goodness. The bottom, all those combinations are incredible. The bottom is altogether, it's crispy because of the coconut. And then you have the middle that's fluffy because of the gelatin. And then the whipped cream, chocolate, pineapple. The flavors are incredible. Oh man. This is so refreshing. It's light. So I really hope that you will get tempted and you will go get ingredients as soon as possible and you will try it. If you do, I would love to see your photos. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. We have amazing community of people, so you can post photos on there. That's a rain. Yep. That's what happens. I cannot have the perfect weather every time. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye guys.